Bada bing, bada boom, ski, y'all.
Oh my God, we're virtual.
We're virtual. This is unprecedented waters for the old sports ballers.
And we have a special guest.
Yeah. Who's this over here, Mr. Man?
I'm Evan. I'm Evan. I'm virtual. I'm just code. I'm zeros and ones.
Whoa.
This is our first AI guest. You're looking at Evan. He is a completely made up integrated intelligence software.
Fully artificial.
We haven't rendered his hair yet, but we'll get to that eventually.
I can't wait.
I'm so nervous to make that joke. I was like, I think it's fine, but...
Yeah. Drew's nervous because he's bald, for those not watching.
Yeah.
Evan has no hair.
Well, that's a good point. As Des always needs to remind me, many people are just listening to this with their ear holes and not watching with their eyeballs, but they should.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. For the audio only folks, I am a bald man. Much like The Rock. I look just like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, except different though.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, I'm white too, so I don't look like him in that way.
Those are the two things. He's just white and has a mustache. Everything else, picture Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Yep. Well, Evan, so let's go ahead and get into who the hell you are. For all the sports ballers that just heard that mad track that just laid down, we have Ev Zaddy. We have the Ev Zaddy, DJ Ev Zaddy. He is the one that created our intro, that produced our intro.
That was sick. Shout out GarageBand. Shout out Drew and Des for trusting me with that. That was a lot of fun to make.
Dude.
I mostly, it was a lot of fun to make. That was all. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
I love it. But we don't just know you from business and your mad DJing skills. We went to college together. Can we get a 3, 2, 1 go Bears? 3, 2, 1 go Bears. Yes. Out in Colorado. So that's how we met you,
originally. Yeah, that was a good time. Colorado's a cool place. Greeley, Colorado is... anyone who's moving to Colorado, trust me, you want to move to Greeley, Colorado. Denver's old news. Get out to Cowtown.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, yeah, the prices, you can buy a mansion out there for pennies probably. And the reason is not because of how awful it is of a place to live. It's because it's the best place. And they're like, just come for free.
Yeah.
My favorite joke about Greeley, and we may have already said this on the podcast, but it was in a South Park episode, and they described it as the exact opposite of Hawaii. And that is exactly the case. It says now they're driving by a billboard, and it says now entering Greeley, Colorado, the exact opposite of Hawaii. And that's a really good way to describe
But
Greeley.
That's where we all met. That's where we all joined forces for good. And we all said, hey, we're all fans of different teams. Drew Dolphins, Des Broncos, and spoiler alert, Evan's a fan of the Ravens.
I'm a Ravens fan.
He is a Ravens fan, so we knew we had to get the Ev Zaddy on because guess what? Dolphins-Ravens played each other on Thursday.
Kinda.
The Dolphins showed up.
The Dolphins were in the stadium.
They were in attendance for sure.
Ev, real quick elevator pitch. What made you a Ravens fan?
That's a great question. If y'all remember the past guest, Perry Bruno, super articulate guy,
Eagles fan.
Perry and I, we went to high school together. We're both from Vegas, and when you're from Vegas, especially in the era where sports gambling was illegal, Vegas was like, no sports teams. You can't have that. And then they made it allowed. So now there's sports teams flooding there. But I just kind of had to pick a team. And I have family they were Ravens fans. They're from Maryland. Purple is, and at the time was, my favorite color. I liked defense, so it was sort of just like a sure. But I'm very loyal. I'm a very loyal person, much like Drew. And so I picked them, and it stuck. So never going to be a Raiders fan. I do cheer for the Broncos in all cases outside of impacting the Ravens. So Broncos are my second team. Yeah, but Ravens all the way. Let's go a little more.
Because dear wifey Alex, Al-Mami, is a Broncos fan.
Yes, you got Ev Zaddy and Al-Mami. We're a dynamic duo, power couple, and we support the Broncos and the Ravens.
Yes, and soon-to-be parents also. Congrats, actual Ev Zaddy and Al-Mami, because we called you guys that before. You were one, so super exciting times, guys. We're at the age where it's like we're buying houses, having kids, maybe investing in our future. I don't know.
And I will say too, power couple, like he's not just saying that. And my evidence to suggest power couple, Evan and Alex had one of the most beautiful weddings I've ever been to. It was a beautiful ceremony. It was a beautiful everything, tears, all this stuff. One of the most beautiful like settings with dinner and flowers and arrangements, all this stuff. Do you know what made them the most beautiful power couple ever? Was after we had a beautifully catered meal and after we were doing some dancing and a little drinking and having a blast, what do Ev Zaddy and Al-Mami do? Oh, hey guys, Taco Bell table over here. Yeah. And they brought the Brinks truck of Taco Bell, and we just it was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. So for that reason and none other, they are the power couple.
The power couple.
Shout
exactly.
Out Taco Bell. Sponsoring. Actually, once the Bell sponsors Sportsball, then it's truly shout out.
Until then, I don't know. Shout out Del Taco, maybe. Shout out. Also, here's my hot take. Kind of. It's a new love of mine. Jack in the Box tacos.
Okay. Yeah. Why?
They're just so good. They're not a taco. It's its own thing, but they're crunchy and cheesy and delicious.
What is it if it's not a taco?
It's like a Taco Bell taco is like a taco. But Jack in the Box, it's almost like it's just its own. I can't describe it. You just have to experience it. So
wow, you really sold me on that for sure.
Hey, those who know. If you know, you know. IYKY, you know what I mean?
If you want an indescribable taco experience, head to Jack in the Box.
Let Drew explain what a good taco is, all right? Let's be real. Any hooser, guys, we're here for a sports podcast, and we had to bring Ev on because, like we already said, Thursday night, baby, Dolphins versus Ravens. I think we can just get. Well, actually, we did say for those just listening, there's a stocking over my shoulder. I can hear people asking, what the hell? It's November 4th. Exactly. It's November 4th. In fact, I'm ashamed this wasn't up November 1st. Okay. I'm one of those people. Christmas starts at midnight, right after. I just can hear people already asking. So yes, we decorate for Christmas. Anyway, back to
Santa
sports.
Claus. Yeah.
But also, as the resident Jew here, shout out.
Yes.
Moses. I don't know.
Moses.
Yeah. Freaking Moses. Dude, he did us a solid. He did us
a big solid. That is, I think, in, I don't know Bible verses, but Old Testament, Isaiah 14:7. Moses did us a solid.
Shout out Moses. Shout out Santa. Shout out Taco Bell.
Yeah. We're shouting everyone out. And if you're sad that you haven't been shouted out yet, get on making tacos, start parting the Red Sea, and do anything else. Fun, really quick story. So I went to I went to like a Jewish preschool. And one day they were going over how Moses parted the Red Sea, and they were showing like a cartoon about it. And the Moses cartoon parted the Red Sea, and the sea was blue because water's blue. But I was a young idiot, and I raised my hand and I said, "Why wasn't the sea red? Because it's called the Red Sea." reasonable question for a preschooler. Very reasonable question. And all the kids laughed at me, and even the teacher gave me a look that was like, you're an idiot. And I've never forgotten that. So
what are all these preschoolers understanding what the Red Sea is? Get out of here.
I know.
Other
I don't know.
Weirdo preschoolers.
So, shout out Temple Sinai in Colorado.
Add it to Drew's books of stories. Add it to Drew's books of stories.
I gotta get one in.
You gotta get at least one per rep, dude. All right, let's get on with football, y'all. Take it away, gentlemen.
Ev, real quick, I was gonna say your takeaway. So at the time, we were both 2-6 teams going into a Thursday night showdown that, in many ways, was very different appearing at the beginning of the season, and then was different appearing in the middle of the season when we didn't know when Lamar was going to come back, and then it was Lamar's first game back, and so it was even a third different appearing type of matchup. So 2-6 going into a very well-known struggling Dolphins team that had at the time a GM and head coach that was on the hot seat. So how were you feeling going into that game?
I can't lie to you, Drew. If the if the Ravens were going to lose that game, I was going to maybe throw in the towel on the season. I was and I'm not like I'm a big, like, don't overreact early, especially week 1, but don't overreact early. There's a long season. I was kind of following how the AFC North was doing in general. But going into that game at 2-5, because we were just off of our bye week.
Oh, that's right.
I was like, if we lose this, it's pretty much over. The season is pretty much over if we lose to this Dolphins team. It's how I was feeling.
That's what I was going to say. Is it over because now you still only have 2 wins and you're at the very bottom of the standings in every respect? Or was it because it was against the Dolphins, or a little bit of both?
Definitely both. I mean, the record alone, I kind of look at it like they've already dug themselves a massive hole, the Ravens. It's kind of like you got to have a perfect season. It's hard to win every single week. I don't care who you're playing. You could be playing the worst team, but it's hard to win in the NFL.
I would actually beg to differ, but continue.
Okay. Well, hold on. Why do you beg to differ?
I as someone who's on a 6 game win streak, it's not that hard to win every week, but continue.
Yeah.
Because all your wins,
you guys just wait till the last second of the game. Yeah.
And scoreboard. Also, our only 2 losses are by last second losses and under 3 points and under. Sorry, no, you guys are talking about your 2-6 teams. Continue.
Yeah, we're having a bad team off here, Des. Go away.
Also, as someone who's going to be protective of bad teams, you were missing your MVP caliber quarterback. You guys are not you don't get to say we're a bad team. The record's not good, but you saw what a bad team looks like on Thursday. So go ahead.
I sure did, man. That was. I have a specific moment that's coming to mind that I want to circle back to. But to answer your question, I was feeling pretty distraught over the record, where it's like you got to be perfect the rest of the season. You can't lose games that you're not supposed to, and teams just do sometimes. So they've dug a hole, so the record is scary. Moving to 2-6, that would have been like pretty damning, I feel like. But then at the same time, like we already lost a ton of games that we shouldn't have on paper. And so to your other point, it's like losing to the Dolphins would have been like, I just wouldn't have felt very inspired. I wouldn't have felt very inspired about the rest of the season. Like, they haven't shown me anything.
Do you know what's funny is, like, we have, you and I, well, Evan and I, but also the Ravens and the Dolphins have these, like, kind of, like, memorable, for me, games back and forth. Like, last year you guys annihilated us, and it was towards the end of the season when, like, we were trying to make a push, and it was still going to be a big deal. And I even think the year prior to that, you guys also annihilated us. It was more towards the beginning of the season, but it was like one of our first big tests, and you guys just obliterated us. 3 years ago, Evan remembers, was the crazy Tua came back. You guys scored a touchdown opening kickoff. We were down, I want to say, like 20, 30 points. And Tua went off for like 6 touchdowns, came back. It was the Tyreek hit, like his first huge, almost 200-yard, 2-touchdown game. Waddle, Mike Gesicki, we had him at one point. Like, it was insane. Everyone was like, holy crap, Tua is here. The Dolphins are here. It was a big deal. And then I also remember a couple years prior to that, we played each other the first game of the season, and it was the tank for Tua year when we were famously bad. I remember we had traded everyone away, and I can't remember who, I think it was Dominique Foxworth, had said, it is irresponsible what the Dolphins are doing. It is unsafe, the team they are putting on the field. Like, they are going to hurt people because they don't have a professional team on the field. And then we played you guys the first game of the season. You beat us like 52-3 or something. So anyway, there's a history for me of like always playing the Ravens and them being like specific memories for me.
Totally. And I think it's partially because there's so many random like South Florida players on the Ravens. Lamar is from South Florida. That opening game of the year, Hollywood Brown, he's now with the Chiefs, but he was from the same neighborhood as Lamar, and he was with the Ravens. So I remember like I think he had like 2 or 3 touchdowns in that game, but it was like
he did
opening game of the season, and I was watching it just like, tentative about the year. It's opening weekend, and feeling nervous, and then we just ran away with it, and I was like, oh man, Super Bowl. Sorry, Dolphins. But did you mention the zero blitz game where Brian Flores, I think, was maybe the DC, and y'all like figured out how to stop Lamar, where it's like they just zero blitzed? Like,
yes.
Zero blitz being where they just send everybody. I don't know why it's called a zero blitz, but they just send everyone.
Every blitz, yeah.
And it was like 90% of the defensive plays were like a zero blitz. And then Lamar was like, what?
But that was also when we had like Xavier Howard. We had like a pretty high caliber secondary, and so we could afford to do that. Yeah. I do remember that game. I also remember the game when we were unwinning. I can't remember. We had like Jason Taylor was still playing. This was like 10, 15 years ago. But we beat you guys in overtime to get our only win of the season.
Yeah.
I remember that game.
That was
too,
like very early on into my Ravens fandom. Yeah. I was like, oh, cool. My team lost to the only winless team in the NFL.
We were like 0-10 at that point, and that was the only win we had. It was, so.
Wow. Wait, are we talking about this year, or when was it the winless team?
This was like
2007
or 8. I'm so sorry. They're so similar.
I knew she was doing that even before she started.
Anyways, continue. I'm sorry. You continue.
To come back to this game, Drew.
Yeah, let's talk about this game.
This is. I had a moment, and I'll tell you exactly when it happened. It was when y'all went for it on 4th down in the red zone, and Tua threw it to a fan in the stands. He threw it so far out of the back of the end zone, and I thought to myself. And I do mean this very genuinely. I was like, has anyone told Drew that, like, you don't have to keep doing this? Has anyone released you?
You don't have to keep doing this.
And it's not like I'm not approaching this from Dez's angle of, like, you got to become a Broncos fan. But, like, just point blank, like, has anyone told you, like, hey, it's okay. You can... Like, you've been pushing the boulder up. You've been Sisyphusing. You've been pushing the boulder up the hill.
Shout out Sisyphus.
Shout out Sisyphus.
Shout out Sisyphus.
For a long time. And, like, just that play, it was like man, that was just tough to watch.
At what point?
Genuinely, in this game, it wasn't until we started rolling a little bit in the third quarter where I was like, okay, the Ravens are winning this game. Because up until that point, the Dolphins like kept doing nice things and like shutting us down. It looked sort of nice, but just couldn't like capitalize and finish. But I legitimately, it was very real. It was like, I hope someone has told Drew, like, hey, you don't have to keep if we need to like do a ritual ceremony and take you to the waters of Miami and sort of do like a reverse baptism, like,
yeah, we can send like a Dolphins dummy off the waterfall like they do in Lord of the Rings. We wouldn't send Drew off because he'd die, but
or a real dolphin because PETA would kill us.
Okay, stuffed dolphin. Yeah, Drew, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I've talked. Yeah. It's, yeah. I mean, I think I said this on a previous episode, but there's only been one time where I've truly considered releasing my Dolphin fandom, but that was when we were like still probably going for Deshaun Watson after so much was out about him. And I was like, I truly, if our team goes for this guy, like I cannot root for a team that would support that. And I know Browns fans that did release their fandom and said, I'm not, while this guy is on my payroll, I don't want to. And even then it would be while Stephen Ross, the person who would be in charge of making that decision, and while he is on my payroll, I couldn't do it. That would be the only time. But other than that, no, like I, for better or worse, and it's only worse, I'm stuck with this team because I think about stupidly the time that I'm like, you know what? No, I can't do this. And then I would always still have that attachment and be like, look at him go whenever that is in the future before I'm dead, if that ever happens. And so I can't. And now I have a very, very, very famous face attached to this brand.
You're so right. You're so right. To do it now. Yeah.
So
you need one of those, because you saw how frequently they stopped the network. They stopped watching the game and they just kept cutting to the fans.
Yeah.
And like the fans with the bags over their heads. And
my favorite thing about watching a game, and it happens a lot with the Dolphins game, is the second the commentators are like talking about their weekend or like, their third game in the future they have coming up, or like, hey, did you ever check out this thing in Miami? There's a great taco stand. I'm like, great. The game's over, because they're not talking about the game. And they'll be doing that as like Tua is like lining up and throwing a ball. Like they're not even describing the game anymore. I actually think they were so busy cutting to all the fans with the bags over their heads that even the producers were like into it, because they were like, oh, play's happening, and they cut back like mid play. And I had to miss the first half of a bubble screen to Devon Achane for -3 yards, because that's all we do. But I mean, the thing that was frustrating, and again, I was coming off of a killer win against the Falcons, and I was like, you know what? The Dolphins will sometimes do this. We are at home. We'll be fired up. Like maybe we can at least. And Des even asked, she's like, what do you want from this game? And I said, I want it to be close in the fourth quarter, as long as I can watch a game where I'm like into it in the fourth quarter. And then we've already talked about this. I saw Tua's pregame speech, and
what do you say?
Wanted to
nothing.
It's like I would run through a brick wall for that guy. I would run through a brick wall to lose consciousness after listening to Tua's speech.
Oh my God.
Can you regurgitate any of what he said? What did he say?
No, the only thing that stuck out to me was he goes, all right, guys, we got this. 60 minutes. We got 60 minutes. And then he jumps to 4 hours. And then it's like, well, because like there's 60 minutes of game time, but the game lasts about 4 hours. So we got 4 hours. And then he was like, it's going to be tough. It's going to be miserable. And they're all like, yeah, because you're our quarterback, bro. And then he's like, then he starts trying to do math, and he's like, 60 minutes is 4 hours. There'll be some commercial breaks. They'll start cutting to the fans with but it's like, but like you'll be on the field for some of the times unless there's option substitution. So give me 4.5, 6, 8 hours. Go team. And it's like,
he's like doing a cover on YouTube, but before he starts, he's like, by the way, I'm sick. So if I don't sound right, I'm just like, just qualifying the whole thing.
Well, unfortunately, Tua's eye was better, so I think that's what really screwed him up.
Dude,
yeah, so
Tua is goated.
You know why he plays better with one eye? I just figured it out.
Why?
Because he's always seeing double from. So one eye is actually just normal.
Nice, a concussion joke. Keep them coming.
Oh man!
Wait, I have a question. Canceled. Yeah, we're all getting canceled. I have a question for Evan about this. So speaking of Achane, which we thought of a nickname while watching, Achanes. Right, Drew?
Because he had some good catches.
Because
so
you have to with your hands. So Achanes. Anyways, So just have to tell everyone that. The HN had a catch, right? Ravens were up 28-6. The catch was iffy. And did they really get? I think they were challenging for a completion, not for like the first down. Mm-hmm. Possibly both. Who knows? The Ravens challenge it. Yeah. At that point, I'm like, why can't we have nice things? Why can't the Ravens just let him have this catch? It might have been iffy, but like you're up 28-6, and I think there's like 5 minutes left.
I'll tell you exactly why. I'll tell you exactly why. Because the Ravens have famously blown the most impossible leads in the fourth quarter, and
really?
To the Dolphins specifically. What was the final score of that game? It was like a Broncos level comeback. They didn't score
or something. Yeah,
we were absolutely just murdering the Dolphins. PETA should have been called. We were beating them so bad, and they came back, and we just couldn't stop them. So I think it's like, as a Ravens fan, one of the identity. I like how you guys talk about the cultural identities of different fans, like you did with Eagles fans. As a Ravens fan, the game is not over until the clock hits 0 to me.
Sure.
Because we've blown so many massive leads that I can't even understand it. So that's why we had to be really mean and challenge that catch.
Okay. You know what? I'll allow that.
And then I feel like they called it. You know how sometimes they'll like make a ruling when it's on commercial break? Mm-hmm. Did they do that there?
I don't remember.
Still didn't. It was like close. I couldn't tell.
Yeah,
but
I was busy not watching. But I was like disassociating by that point. So,
yeah.
I mean, one of the main things that I want to talk about after this game, and I mean, the big thing, obviously, Chris Grier was fired after that game. Well, sorry, they mutually agreed to part ways, which I just always love that. Like, no, you didn't. But there's been a lot of reports coming out. I mean, again, I looked at Dez, and actually I woke up the next morning and Dez was like, "You got news?" And I was like, "Yeah, McDaniel's fired." And I looked and it wasn't. And there's been some more reports that have come out that not only, well, the main thing that came out is that for all intents and purposes, he will be around for the remainder of the season. And there's different reasoning for that. Some people are like, well, you don't want to put an interim head coach, get the team fired up. Maybe you rattle off 3 or 4 wins, lose some draft capital. That being said, I don't think no matter what people say, I have a hard time thinking that any team actually thinks that way about losing games to get a better draft pick. So I don't think that's the reason. But there's been more reports that have come out, including, I think Adam Schefter reported that, quote, Mike McDaniel's job is considered safe for the foreseeable future. The Dolphins believe in McDaniel, want him to continue to be the head coach now and through next year and moving forward. Just got to win and get the team to play for him. If that doesn't happen, the Dolphins could eventually make a change. And so what I think is interesting is that this would suggest that, because I would think owners and different people are talking to players. What do you want? Do you believe in this coach? Do you and there are reports that this team is still bought into McDaniel. This team still likes McDaniel and still wants to play for him. Again, talking about, wanting to run through a brick wall. After hearing 18 different I think I would have more brain damage than, I don't want to keep making concussion jokes, but listening.
Do it. Why not?
Because this is, okay, separate hot take. I hate.
Oh, wow. I was supposed to just be a bit.
I know, but I hate this narrative that's around Tua. Like, I actually think it's really sad, the amount of, jokes and brain damage jokes that are out there. And when Des was like, oh, it might get canceled, the shit that's out there, that are, acceptable jokes about his brain damage, I think is actually, insane. That being said, I'm not bought in on McDaniel. And actually, Des said this several times during the Ravens game. You're like, is it really McDaniel or is it Tua? And I think a lot of people in the organization see that it's much more a Tua problem than it is a McDaniel problem. And how much can you do with a quarterback that has taken a really big dive for whatever reason? I mean, he leads the league in interceptions with Geno Smith. Never want to be in the same conversation with Geno Smith. And he doesn't look good. I mean, he seems scared for obvious reasons. He seems indecisive. Teams have figured him out too, and his quick reads. Once he goes to second or third reads, he can't do it. And, elephant in the room. He doesn't have his best receiver. Waddle's been playing phenomenal, but in the next 2 or 3 hours, Waddle could be on the move. So I do think it's interesting, and I think McDaniel is a genius when it comes to the offense, and he's good at figuring things out. There's a reason he came up the ranks so quickly, so young. And there's only so much you can do with a young quarterback that isn't playing well. So I don't know if we get rid of Tua at the end of the year. There's a lot of talks about he could be cut. However, I saw this.
It's possible. It's possible.
Des, if we cut Tua, we would have the biggest cap hit and dead money since the Broncos released Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, we're notorious for having the worst trade, one of the worst in NFL history. So I hope that no one else has done that since.
I mean,
Tua.
Yeah, and it was hard, we gave him this massive contract after on paper, he led the league in a lot of things and, release point and getting the ball out quicker than anyone. I think he led the league or was up there in yards, in touchdowns. When everything was gelling, and that's the criticism of Tua. When everything is working perfectly, he is the best. But that is literally the definition of a system quarterback, which is not usually thrown around as a compliment. And the system is broken and falling apart. And I think if I could put my hand in a hat and choose between McDaniel and Tua at this point, I would keep McDaniel and get rid of Tua, which sucks. And it makes me sad because I was a big Tua guy for a long time, but this year is starting to crumble me away from being a Tua guy. So
yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking. And that fourth down pass into the end zone, where it was I think at that point it was still somewhat, I don't remember the exact score, but it just felt like it was more within reach. And like I said, it went so far out of the back of the end zone. And it was just you are a professional quarterback. Maybe that is your second or your third read. I don't know. You got to put it in the field to play.
Well, and like you said, it was late. At that point, an interception is whatever. You got to at least make it possible, put a ball up there and let Jalen Waddle go get it. I wish we had Darren Waller. He was having a killer comeback, and he's a good contested ball tight end type guy. But do something. You can't. It's not the first or second quarter. You can't just throw the ball away and get 3 points, which we also didn't do because we missed field goals, and it was just an ugly game all around. So,
real quick to wrap this up, Drew, are you seeing my chats?
Uh-huh.
Okay, amazing. While you look at that, Evan, I have a question as a Ravens fan. Yeah. It was released, and I don't think it was before last game, but I think it was within the past couple of weeks. A huge news story was that they took away the Ravens game consoles in the locker room, and I believe any types of games. And I was I gotta ask Evan about this. And they I don't know if it was Lamar they interviewed, but they're hey, how you feeling about this? And they were no, we got to be more serious. But what's your take on that? Taking away these things in the locker room to be more serious, I guess.
I think it's reasonable for let's think of this as it's a business, right? The Ravens are a professional football team, and they weren't executing, they weren't performing and getting the results that the business pays them to get. So at that point, it's all right, no distractions. We got to be serious. So when I first heard the news, I was okay, I can't control how the players react, and if they hate that, then I don't know, that could create tension, and you don't want that. But at the same time, I was for it. And then later, because originally it was just they just took him away. Later it was they interviewed Lamar, and Lamar was oh yeah, that was me. Lamar said. Mm-hmm. Game's gone.
Oh, that's tea. Ooh.
And for Lamar being, and I love Lamar, so there's my bias. I'm gonna always gush over him, but he's such a positive spirited guy. You could see if anybody's watched Ravens games and saw him on the sideline when he was hurt, always had a smile, still contributing, had the earpiece in. So for him to be behind the scenes, nah, we're taking away the games. I think that shows. I think he's a good leader, and I trust his wisdom on that. The players don't seem to have ill will towards him. I think that they probably were.
I think that's wild. I would have been livid if my Mario Kart was taken away. I would have been like, great, watch me play worse now. But that's just because I'm stubborn, as we all know.
Hey, Lamar did say that it's not coming back this year. Even if we go on a win streak, he's not. It's like, what if this year it's over.
No, Lamar, anything for the GameCube. My guy.
But also, I do think it's funny, too. We're talking about professional athletes that have millions of dollars, and, they don't have games at work, technically. And then, they have to go home and, they have to play Monopoly because they can't afford a PS5 at their house. I get it, And I think it's funny, but it's no, we're here to work. Let's work. And it's great, you have games at the facility. How often are you playing games? It's just funny.
They talk a lot about competitive ping pong. Maybe that's why Lamar was they're getting too into ping pong.
I did not know that. That is so funny to me. Oh my gosh. Okay, anything else you guys want to say about this game?
No, I think we should get into the Broncos.
Drew, your sadness is really bumming me out.
I release you. If you need someone to say
we release you.
I release you.
I got hope, man. We're going next week. We get to play the Bills. We'll be fine, I think. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I want to give a shout out to our tight end 3, Charlie Kolar. Anyone who doesn't know Charlie Kolar, that's the last thing I want to say from the game. We had a tight ends game. We had 2 Mark Andrews touchdowns. Isaiah Likely had some great catches, and Charlie Kolar got a touchdown. He's a very funny third-string tight end who's pretty good. So look him up.
Hell yeah, dude.
If you ever heard a clip of he has a more famous quote from last year, I think, where he was shout out to Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely as being really great tight ends on this team because they're not paying attention to the fat white guy running down the seam. That's him. He's talking about himself, and he's he's a funny guy.
He's the fat white guy?
They're the personality hires, the tight ends.
Tight ends do have personalities. That's a good take.
Maybe that's why they're the only ones with a university. Because they're we got to get all the boys together and bro out. Because we all got personalities.
Yeah.
Just a thought. You know what's another thought? The Broncos are 7-2.
Oh, Dez.
We can't do the score flips.
Should I just do it?
Do you want to grab it?
All right.
And then,
hold on real quick.
Drew, I'm going to have you mute when I'm going, but copy. Okay, great. Amazing. So we're going to flip the scores for those that are going to be watching. We are, peek behind the curtain, Drew and I are in the same room, just in different locations. So we're really navigating this out. But right now I'm holding this baby up at 6-2, and we're about to flip it to 7-2. Damn, it's not mirrored. It's fine. 7-2. We have the best record in the NFL. Come on, guys. Drew, go ahead and flip yours.
I did. Me too. 7-2.
Okay.
So I'm mirrored for some reason, which is.
Oh man!
It looks clear to me. Y'all. Y'all look great.
Okay,
it's 2-7.
It's the same record.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Anyways, so that doesn't matter. Okay. So let's get into this. I have about 7 minutes to talk about the Broncos game. So I am happy. But guess what? The fourth quarter happened. I said as a joke, but now it's actually real. We only play football in the fourth quarter. We get all the way to the end, and what happens? Do we have to win by a last-second field goal? Yes. And was there a flag after the last-second field goal? Yes. Not on us. Not on us. But no, I know. So I didn't even see the flag. But that's what happened with the Colts. I didn't see the flag
again.
No, defensive. I think it was defensive offside. Yeah. Can you? Oh my God. I swear to God. Yeah. That was insane. Dre Greenlaw, Justin Strnad. Oh my God. I can go on and on about that. But anyways, we were tied for the best record. Fourth quarter game. There's a last second field goal. And I love, there's this clip of Sean Payton coming out and going up to Will Lutz. And he goes, "Hey." Will Lutz is like, "Huh?" He's like, "Right through there." And Lutz is like, "Okay." And it's just Where else are we going to kick it? Sean? Huh? Where else? I get it. It's just a bit. But also, Lutz posted it on his Instagram, and he was like, me, goals, got it. And that's all he said in his caption. So I think it's funny. Sean Payne, he's fine. But our defensive front, that is where it's at. I mean, it's been there all season, but we held the Texans to not a single touchdown. Okay? Just field goal, field goal, field goal. Now, the issue is I hear a lot of people chirping and saying, well, CJ Stroud went out in the second, which he did. It was a concussion, and apron strain hit him, and people were like, that was a dirty hit. It was not. This is my opinion. I think CJ Stroud slid late, and if you look at the replay, Drains hit him in the chest, not in the neck or head, and the concussion happened because he hit his head on the ground. There's some people in Broncos country and just, I mean, anywhere, John Lamberson, saying that, hey, if CJ Stroud was still in, we would have lost this game. And I just want to shut that down completely. Going into this game, it was a defense versus defense matchup. It was not offense versus offense, okay? CJ Stroud, he's been picking up. Same with Bo Nix. He's been picking up. Do I want to compare them to head-to-head? Like, listen, Bo Nix, he was rough for 3 quarters. So, no, I don't. But I don't think it didn't matter if CJ Stroud was in or not. I think what was going to win or lose the game is how our defense showed up against, I think, basically the same caliber of offense on both sides. And guess what? Our defense won us. And, I mean, Bo Nix did it in the fourth as well. I'm not saying that our offense didn't do anything. But I think that's a silly argument. I disagree with that take. And I think while I do not like to see injuries, and I'm sad to hear that CJ Stroud went out, do I think it was a fair hit? Yes. Anyways, one thing I didn't know about the Texans, there's a lot of Broncos fans there. There was so much orange there, and at first I was like, no, I'm just seeing red. And then I was on Instagram, and I was seeing, like, there's a huge Broncos country meetup in Texas. It's pretty sick. So, like, I don't think I ever thought of Houston as a second place for Broncos country, but gotta head down there sometime. That was another thought. I had lots of thoughts. So these are just bullet points. So obviously interrupt at any point. I literally commented on our screen passes like 5 times on my notes. I always just take notes when I'm watching the game. And I said, stop at the screens. Stop at the screens. Stop at the goddamn screens. I'm so sick and tired. We're 3rd down. What do you do? How are we going to get this first down? Sean Payne's like, I know just the thing. We're going to throw a screen, and it's going to work this time. It doesn't, Sean Payne. It doesn't ever work. Stop throwing screens, please, for the love of God. I'm also angry with our special teams. Darren Rizzi. Darren Rizzi is Sean Payne's guy, right? Sean Payne brought him in. Sean Payne was asked. He's got the Riz. You would think he had the Riz. He doesn't have the Riz. You know, and it's like up in the air. Is it Rizzi being bad at his job, or is it our special teams players? For instance, Sean Payne was asked after the game, like, hey, what do you think about our special teams performance? And he, you know what? I couldn't figure out if he was talking about Darren Rizzi or if he was talking about Broncos players. He said, basically he said, I'm missing the quote. He said there were 10 players. There's the 11th guy running out there. If you're supposed to be one of the 11 players on pick any unit and you're on the bench, then I have a problem. He then goes on to say, I'm referring to players that aren't in the field that need to be. Coaching is outstanding. We'll get that cleaned up. My point is, if there are 10 players on the field and there's supposed to be 11, then that player that's supposed to be out there, I'll find someone else to do his job. I actually read that correct. It doesn't make sense grammatically. So he's definitely talking about.
I don't recall a play where there was 10 on the field.
I
do, though.
No. But I legit was about to say, I was like, the way he's explaining that, it sounds like there's supposed to be someone else out there that wasn't. It was like a late sub in, but I've read both takes on different forums. One that he's talking crap about Darren Rizzi, other that he's talking crap about players. So I don't know. Granted, who'd we have? Mims is out, unfortunately, on concussion protocol. So we have Bandy, Michael Bandy. He was a punt returner. Just was not good. It's fine. I mean, it was one of his first NFL appearances. Well, what's so interesting is Bandy. We I think we've spoken about it on this podcast before, but Lad McConkey, his helmet is so big. It looks like a giant like cantaloupe on top. Right. Bandy has a sort of same thing. It's just a giant helmet. And I don't, do we know why the helmet looks so giant on Lad? Like, has anyone, and it's not a Guardian cap because that's on the outside of the helmet. Have we figured that out? I literally tried Googling
players there's not like one standard issued helmet to the NFL. Like players get a array of like, I don't know how many options, let's say 20 different helmet options. And supposedly they like perform differently. I don't know. I'm not a helmet expert, but
wow, you're more of an expert than I am. He might have chosen the big one.
Bad Mr. Lad.
Bad Mr. Lad with the big old.
I like that.
McConkey.
I mean, but Des, weren't we watching and they were showing highlights of a different game and someone else had the Lad McConkey effect? Like, weren't we saying someone else it looked like had the big head? Did she say that already? Was that what she was saying?
You were talking about Bandy.
Yes, Drew. Welcome back to the podcast. I was talking about Michael Bandy, and that's how Lad McConkey got brought up.
Well, that's funny because now that I think about it, Lad plays for the Chargers. Wasn't playing in the game we were talking about. What had happened is that Des, you were on such a roll. You were on a roll, and I didn't want to get in front of the Des train, and I was just like, let her go. Let her go. Let her do her thing. Let me get all set up with the things I need to get set up with as to not ruin the podcast. And so then by trying to not ruin the podcast, I ruined the podcast. So I wish it would be better if I did that as a bit, and I didn't. And so that's pretty cool, I think. I'm going to mute my mic for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Guys, you guys take it away.
See you later. Okay. I literally, the only last couple of notes, like, it was a great win. I'm so stoked on our record. We are playing the Raiders this week. I'm a little nervy. It might be a trap game because we actually do have quite a bit of injuries right now. And I mean, PS2 is still out, and then we play the Chiefs after the Raiders. So it's like if we have players sitting out, I'd rather it be for Thursday night. But I mean, hell, we're on a 9-game home win streak. We're on a 6-game win streak. This is where, you start to slip up because you're feeling good. Whereas like typically when teams come in and they lose against a team that you're not supposed to, they come in with more fire. So I always get a little nervous around these times. If we were going in to play against I would much, much rather us play the Chiefs than the Raiders in that order, which is weird because then PS2, it's a whole thing. But I'm stoked where we are. I think it's a nice feeling as a Broncos fan right now. It sort of seems surreal. Like it feels weird talking about our team being 7-2 and tied for first place in the AFC. Like, what the hell is happening? I'm stoked on it. Did you have any thoughts about the game, Evan?
Well, I say I love that because I live in the Denver area, so it's always nice when Broncos are doing well. The two thoughts that I had, one, I want to see Hufanga catch those interceptions. I felt like he dropped 3. Maybe it was 2.
Yes.
But they were like...
No.
And he knew it. You could see it on his face.
He did. And that's one thing about our defense is that, so sorry to interrupt you, is that we're so good at the sacks, the tackles, we're so good, but the turnovers, we're not quite there. Like, we don't have a ton of turnovers right now. So that is something that I agree with you, Evan. I would love to see that happen. So go ahead.
It's a perfect example of, I think, the bend don't break kind of defense, which is why you kept seeing the Texans make it all the way down the field and then not be able to get into the end zone. And I think when you have that kind of defense, you're kind of picking up data points throughout the game in a way. You're like, okay, they have this tendency. So Hufanga was like figuring that out throughout the game, which is why he was able to jump some of those passes. But yeah, you just gotta. They say that's why they play on defense, not on offense, because they got brick hands. But no excuse. You make millions of dollars. So the other thought I had was good game from Riley Moss. I loved your take on him last week, and I thought he
Thank you, Evan.
did well. He did well.
We love our Shadowfax Moss. Like, he's doing such a great job. I think people aren't giving him enough credit, and I love that you're on the Riley Moss lover train, not hater train.
It's a phenomenon that you guys talked about last week, which is that if you got the all-pro caliber player on the other side of the field, a shutdown cornerback, it's like they're not throwing. They're just not going to throw it that way. So that other corner's going to get picked on. And Riley Moss is not Pat Surtain. That's true.
He is not. He is not. And a lot of people aren't. So
a lot of people aren't. So he's doing well, I think.
Do you think this is this is why I unmuted my mic. This is the content that made me unmute my mic. Do you think that if PS2 was on the Ravens, Lamar would be like, we have to get rid of him until we start winning because he's a PS2? I'll mute my mic again and I'll be in the comments. Let me know what you think.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I do think that.
Totally.
For sure.
On that note, that is all I have to say about the Broncos because we got to get into this league cash up. But I am stoked on this. We're riding high. So let's go ahead real quick, though, before we get into that. We got to read our comments. Guys, continue to please leave us comments on Spotify, reviews on Apple Podcasts, all of the above. I'm going to go with one of our first comments. EPIM 3000. Love the podcast. Been a big fan of Dummies. Hi, thank you. And really love the back and forth between you and Drew. # go Broncos. # God bless Bo Nix, baby. Thank you, EPIM. Yeah, go ahead.
No, it was just very sweet. We Dez and the Dummies are the reason this thing is really starting to pick up, and so we don't have any Dolphins fans that are like, love the content, big Dolphins fan here, but that'll happen eventually.
It will exactly.
Connor White about the take that Dez destroyed me on last week regarding Myles Garrett. I think two things can be true, so we kind of agree with me. Bro made the right decision prioritizing making his money because he could always get hurt and have a sudden end to his career, but he could also be pissed about being stuck in a garbage franchise. P.S. Love the show and love hearing y'all's takes. Oh my gosh. Been a Broncos fan all my life, not a Dolphins fan. That's okay, Connor. And this is probably the most down-to-earth podcast to get my Broncos filled. Please keep making content. And then he did the heart emoji with his hands. Heart hand emoji. Thank you, Connor.
I'm too millennial. It's so hard for me to do that.
Like, dude, I learned how to do it pretty quick. Yeah, Des, you got to get on this. But it wasn't. But to be fair, the emoji was this. And again, it's the millennial heart for those not watching.
Yeah, copy.
Apple is millennial because that's how they do their heart hands. If it was Gen Z, 100%. I already lost it. I did it.
Nope. Pointer finger in the middle finger.
Thank you. I literally lost it. I was like,
we are so old. Okay. Paul _Miranda 89. Watching the Dolphins Thursday night game, I see the heartache you go through. Drew, great podcast. Go Broncos. Well, I think it's funny is we also had one of my friends, Amber and Johnny, who were going to the Broncos game with. They texted us and they were like, hey, we're rooting for the Dolphins tonight. So I think a lot of sports ballers finally got to see the heartache for primetime games.
And that is true. I'm talking smack about like there's no Dolphins fans, but having like sympathy fans is nice. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Last comment, we saved the best for last. My friend Joshua Vergis said good. Thanks, Josh. Keep those really beautiful comments coming in. Last quick comment. Mike Simon commented on our YouTube channel, and if 2 and 2 together, Mike Simon is my dad. And I realized that this has happened a couple times with my parents and different people. Love the support, but it is kind of, I'm having the same feeling of like when you're, like you forgot your backpack in the car or something, like going to school, and your mom and your dad's like, "Oh, sweetie, come here. Here's your backpack. Don't forget to make friends. Love you. Bye." Love the support, but also like he commented on the thing when I was talking about my nickname as a kid being called the Dude because I was dressed up as the Dude from The Big Lebowski, and he's like, "You've always been the little dude since you were just in your mom's tummy, and that's just what we all called you." And like, that's the sweetest thing ever. This is not a dig on my dad, but I'm over here like, oh God, I started this and now I have to end it. And now I'm talking about it again, and it's probably going to be commented on again. So That's it. That's all. Thanks for the love, Pops. Love you too. I'll see you in a couple days. Super stoked. Yay.
Yay. Okay, moving right along. Hi, Mike. Okay, so we do have the Bears-Bengals game that we wanted to go over. 47 Bears, Bengals 42. Unfortunately, the Bengals lost at the very final second. Daddy Flacco, his second loss. I know, his second loss in a row. The main thing, there are 2 points I wanted to touch on. One, I am so sick and tired of, like, for instance, there was like a meme going around, and Caleb Williams famously paints his nails. His mom's a nail tech, so he likes doing that in honor of her. Anytime the Bears beat a team, there's always someone that posts like, you just lost to a guy that paints his nails. Like, we gotta stop, you guys. It's such a easy, like, I always say when you go for insults, it's like, what's the low hanging fruit? And whatever that is, you should be smarter. Like, whenever people comment on people's weight or their appearance, I'm just like, you can do better. Like, one of our friends, Presley, she has one of the best insults I've ever heard. Someone was coming at me in dummies, and I said, sick 'em, Presley, go get 'em. And she goes, you look easy to draw. Like, that's it. And I need the insults to level up. So yes, Caleb Williams paints his nails.
I look easy to draw. Ball.
I don't know. Is The Rock easy to draw? Because if he is, then you're right.
It's pretty tough to get all the tone of my muscles into drawings because there's so many of them for the audio-only listeners. Yeah.
Real quick, ding, ding, ding. Big-time trade alert.
Big-time trade alert.
After getting rid of Sauce Gardner, are now getting rid of Pro Bowl defensive tackle Quinnen Williams, sending him to the Cowboys. So the Cowboys are making moves, and the Jets are getting rid of everybody. So,
oh my God, you guys.
Big time trade just came through the wire. I just got off the phone with Jerry Jones. He told me all the stuff and also said sorry to Dez. He's really fearful for his life currently. So
he should be. He's top of my list as soon as I hire someone. They're going through interviews right now on who I really want to hire. But allegedly for my assassination interviews. Okay, so the Cowboys realized
make
they
it worse
fucked
using
up.
Assassination.
Oh, copy, right, alleged, whatever. So, dude, Cowboys dumpster fire, Jets dumpster fire,
Dolphins doing perfectly fine.
Yes. Back to Bears.
I don't know what the play is, but like what I want to say right now about Jerry Jones and the Cowboys is you traded away Micah Parsons and made a big shtick over like we're not going to pay these players, and then follow everything that's happened since. It's like, oh, but now our defense sucks, and we need to.
Because of course,
if you just kept your player and paid him, then you wouldn't. It doesn't make any sense to me.
The biggest dumb I've ever dumbed. It's just dumb. I've never had a old man make me so angry in my life, and I don't like this power he has over me. So I must relinquish it.
Dummies.
If you know what I mean. I'm winking at the camera right now. Last thing I want to say about Bears Bengals. Man, time flies when you're talking crap with Ravens fans. Am I right? Bears Bengals. There was a hot mic moment with Jamar Chase coming off the field, right? Because Bengals had it. They had it. There was 1 minute left. They get a touchdown. They're like, we got this. We're going to win this game. Less than 1 minute left. The Bears drive down and score a touchdown. Jamar Chase's hot mic moment. He was coming off, basically into the hallways. And you could hear him saying, curse word coming up. Sorry, Mom and Dad. But he goes, one fucking stop. Just one fucking stop. So at the end of the day, the Bengals, I mean, it's unreal. They're scoring 15 points or less in a minute, and they have 500 yards on offense. Burrow's putting up insane numbers. Daddy Flacco's putting up insane numbers. And we got this Bengals defense that can't do anything to save their life. Like, and you can tell, I think the offense is getting tired of it. So that's the TIC happening with the Bengals.
I got no sympathy for the Bengals, and I am a Ravens fan, so F them cats. But again, in their draft, when it's like there's a famous graphic where it's like Joe Burrow, and it's like him standing behind nobody, failing to throw it to Jamar Chase because he doesn't have any protection, or it's like him throwing it to anybody because Penei Sewell, they were like, the Bengals should draft this guy, but they drafted Jamar Chase. They've invested everything into their offense, and now they're like, why can't we win football games? It's like, because I hate them. I heard another hot mic moment that, Des, I thought you would be interested in. I liked it on Twitter. I'll send it to you later. But hot mic on the Cowboys Cards game just caught Javonte so ass after he just fumbled. I haven't listened to it, but it was a moment of your ex-Bay struggling, so...
You know what's so funny is like I actually did see that. So basically the Cardinals tackle Javonte and he fumbles the ball and they recover, right? This is after the beatdown Monday night. They're like, Javonte Williams so ass. And we were watching the replay. Yes, Javonte so ass. That's what the Cardinals player said when he fumbled it. Literally 5 minutes prior, Javonte is plowing down, I think 3 defensive men on the Cardinals for like a 10, 15 yard run right before that. And he is, but he's not. I gotta say he's not as a sports fan, but also he is. You're right, Cardinals. Also, Cardinals, where'd you come from? That was insane. You guys, this beat down of the Cowboys, but it's also the Cowboys.
Brisket, hello.
Brisket.
Hello.
I don't know why I always called him Jacoby Brisket.
I like that.
That's what I got.
Yeah. Because he's
away.
Cooking them like barbecue.
Yeah.
Speaking of running backs and being so ass, everyone knows that I don't think Rico Dowdle is ass. Everyone knows that I'm the biggest Rico Dowdle
favorite
fan. Love
player.
my boy Rico Dowdle. So Rico Dowdle, this game, they...
Oh. Are you muted?
Oh, Drew.
Say that again. We caught...
Yep. I tried to do this cool thing on Riverside where you can hit the spacebar and unmute you, but then when you let go of the spacebar, it mutes you again, so you're not like. But I let go of the spacebar. So, turning that feature off, back on. Oof. So, Panthers beat the Packers. Rico Dowdle had another killer game, ran for $130, 2 tutties, and Evan's nodding his head. He knows where I'm going to go with this. Des, you're also nodding your head. So for all of you Key and Peele fans out there, they had a sketch a couple years ago with I had the name and I lost it. McCringle, what was his first name?
McCringle. I don't remember, but
anyway,
yeah,
they scored and they had this whole bit where the guy who scored the touchdown in the skit thrusted his hips once, thrusted his hips a second time, and the ref's just waiting for him to do a third one because everyone knows in the NFL you can only do 2 pumps. You do that third pump, immediate flag. So Dowdle's
you can't do that.
You can't do that. So Dowdle's like, I got 2 pumps locked and loaded. I'm fine with 2 pumps. Dowdle did 2 pumps. Ref was not about it. 2 pump flag immediately. And what's crazy is 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct, and then they missed the field goal. So it actually was like a big-time situation. But what I think is so funny, Keegan-Michael Key replied to it. He was like, I got to talk to the NFL and talk to the refs. Everyone knows you get 2 pumps. Rico Dowdle even afterwards said, from my understanding and everything I've learned, we go over stuff like this every week in the meeting rooms. I definitely think you're supposed to get 2 pumps. Hopefully I don't get a fine.
Wait, so what do you mean they go over this in meetings? Like, is Rico like he's like, hey, coach, hypothetically speaking, if I had a pump, if I had 2 pumps, could I do 2 pumps on the field?
I score a touchdown. I wanna do a pump or 2. That's fine, right?
Dowdle, you're solid. So like game plan again.
2 pumps.
2 pumps. Yeah, make sure we're going to not mess around with the bubble screens too much. We're going to use you as a receiver a couple times. You might hit Wildcat at one point. Also, Dowdle, only 2 pumps.
Hey, I got another question, Coach. I got another question. What happens if I do a 3rd pump?
For sure, we'll get an unsportsmanlike conduct, and we can't do that. There'll be a flag. So
15 yards, and we'll probably miss.
I feel like I've learned a lot today, and I know what to do going into the game.
And he got
also Dowdle, just know there's a lot of talk going on still. Ignore all the noise. Sportsball, Drew on Sportsball, don't worry about him. He doesn't know anything. And then Dowdle's like, Drew, and then he gets fired up and has another crazy game.
It is pretty. The Panthers, they just have random running backs who just pop off. Who are Chuba Hubbard?
5-4 right now. It's wild.
Good for them.
Anyway, that's what I got.
Unreal. That's what you got?
That's all I got. That was just so funny.
I know. Colts Steelers. Go ahead, Drewski.
So, Ev, I think you'll also appreciate this because it's just the funniest thing ever. But the only thing I want to talk about, I mean, one, Steelers had a killer game. Their defense was unreal. They went for 6 turnovers. They made Daniel Jones look like old school Daniel Jones. 5 of them involved Daniel Jones. 3 picks and 2 forced fumbles. But what I want to talk about with this game specifically is one of my favorite coaches in the world, Mike Tomlin. And he had a quote about the game. Don't know in regards to what, but Tomlin just said, it's a fine line between drinking wine and squashing grapes. And that forced me to go, Mike Tomlin is insane. What are some of the other things he said? We're squirreling those nuts is something he has said once. I expect routine catches to be made routinely. One of my absolute favorites. Another big one of his is the standard is the standard, which is just also funny. He's also famously for saying you can't blink. We got out of there with a win. We didn't blink. I don't know what that means, but you can't blink.
I get it. One
of my other favorite ones, it's like just a fired up one. I want volunteers, not hostages, which... There's someone on the Reddit thread for this where I was looking up these quotes and someone's like, I say that at work every day and everyone turns their stuff in on time. So I just think that's so funny.
He's got one, Des, speaking of a trap game, and I've never understood what it meant. I kind of get it, but I think he says something, stand in your trap, walk in your trap, or walk in your trap, take over your trap. And I'm
I get it.
Yes, and I have no clue what that means.
No one does, and that's what makes it provocative.
The last one, my favorite one, I can't give you all the ingredients to the hot dog. You might not like it. I love that man so much.
Do you remember his press conference where he just said...
I love that man so much.
Someone asked him something, and he just says, we do not care.
Yep.
And that was his answer. We do not care. I quote that all the time. We do not care.
Damn, I think I love Tomlin a little bit more. Sorry, Evan.
Oh, you gotta get your
I love him too.
I wish he's a good guy.
That was my hunt. I didn't think you would.
I can't, early on in my fandom, it's I have to hate him. And of course, I still hate him as a Ravens fan, but as an NFL coach, I hope he's coaching until he's 70, like Pete Carroll. I need Tomlin around for a long time. Hopefully it's not with the Steelers for much longer. Get him out of my
with the Dolphins.
Oh my God. Yeah, Drew's take about
Miami
him going
has
to the Dolphins.
turned into more of a hip hop town, so maybe they would.
Jeez, dude. Unreal. That shocked me when you told me that, Drew. Okay, very last game that we want to go over. Chiefs-Bills. The Bills won, baby, 28-21. This is the 5th straight regular season win against the Chiefs the Bills have had. So in the regular season, Bills, they are the Chiefs' daddy. Postseason, absolute opposite. Bills, get your shit together. I'm sick and tired of you losing to the Chiefs, all right? But Mahomes was not having it this game. He had a brutal game. He had he was hit 14 times. That is the most in his career. He was hit 14 times. He also had the lowest regular season completion percentage in his career this game as well. So there is something interesting that I've been hearing a lot, when I'm listening to Sirius XM, driving around, and people keep commenting on the Chiefs record. They're 5-4. They're 5-4. When we just saw the Chiefs and Bills play, we're probably going to see them again in the playoffs. Why are the Chiefs just automatically, and this seems normal, but why are they just automatically slated to go to the playoffs? Why are they always when the Chiefs are in the playoffs? Granted, they have for all these years, but at some point the tables have to turn, and this is the closest that we've seen to that table actually turning and it actually being a reality. The Chiefs might not make it. They are currently 3rd in the AFC West. Knock on all the wood right now, but there have to a lot of things that happen in the AFC West for both the Chargers and the Broncos. I don't know. I'm just curious why everyone's just the Chiefs and Bills are going to play again in the playoffs.
It's just a lazy take. It's just late. It's just
it's
just NFL fandom laziness.
I appreciate that. You know what I mean?
It's not acknowledgement of the Colts, although they might have revealed themselves against the Steelers.
I don't know.
Drew,
with Daniel Jones.
What do you think?
What I think is interesting is I was curious, Des, when you're like, oh, you said the tables have turned a lot. And I was like, where does that phrase come from? Did you know it originates from the 17th century board games where a losing player would metaphorically or sometimes literally reverse the game board to switch positions with their opponent?
Like in like in that Pixar chess.
I just thought that was pretty interesting. That
is pretty interesting.
It's crazy.
And speaking of tables turning, I would like to acknowledge Chiefs fans, all the Chiefs fans that listen to this podcast, because I know you love this podcast, right? I saw you guys get penalized a lot this game, and you know what? I think the baton has officially been passed, even though I said literally like 3 episodes ago the Chiefs didn't penalize you guys once, and that's whatever. I think it's been passed to the Eagles. I think it has, with the tush push and not calling those false starts, but I think the baton has officially been passed.
And I, as someone who's famously said a lot of stuff about Mahomes and all of his whining and whatever, I mean, and should get an Oscar for all of his acting, Josh Allen had one of the biggest flops I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
like,
bad.
come on, my guy. Like,
I'm so over it.
Listen, I like Josh Allen a lot, but he is also a big whiner, and he is a big-time flopper, and he flopped so hard, he might have given himself a concussion with how hard he threw his head back. And I was like, oh, no. Like, and then that player would have been suspended for like 8 years, all because Allen felt a breeze next to his face and was like, unsportsmanlike. So, yeah, the tables, the 7th century board games continue to 17th century board game over here. You know what I mean?
They do.
Absolutely.
We got picks and games.
Ever since earlier, you said that I feel like I can't trust the refs now that I know that the whole 2 pumps thing is not valid.
Before that,
I felt like I could trust them
the refs again. Never again.
Have some standards, NFL referees. Have some specific, consistent standards. For the love of God.
And we need 2 pumps back. That's a request from Sportsball.
Bring back 2 pumps. One last thing on that note, though. Some people have been saying the reason they might have been flagged is it was Rico Dowdle, Xavier Legette was in it, and they think the combination of the players, they all were pumping, and so it all counted. So it was actually like
the sum of the pumps was greater than
9
the sum of all pumps. Yeah. So
whoa! Now we're
just to play devil's advocate over here.
Wow. Wow.
What do I got in my hand right here?
Oh boy, we're gonna do picks.
This is a blank whiteboard, but what you don't know is on the back of this is Picasso level shit.
All right, we got our primetime picks, our weekly primetime picks. Guess what? Who's winning so far? Des is, baby. All right. We both lost the Cowboys pick, but I am 2-1. Drew is 1-2. We still need you guys to comment on literally anything what the loser has to do. We'll just take comments forever, but we're going to reveal our picks. So this Thursday, we're doing Raiders versus Broncos, baby, and we'll reveal it all at the count of 3, 2, and 1. Drew?
Yeah, what's up?
I'm actually offended by that.
What's up?
He did throw up a Bronco, but it's the most hideous. I think that's my sleep paralysis demon.
What's wrong? What's wrong with this?
What is that?
It's a chicken. Like halfway through, I was like, I drew a much better chicken cockatoo than I did a Bronco. Now, to be fair, peek behind the curtain. This is a different setup today. We got Zoom links and different mics and cameras and all kinds of stuff. And we were like, oh God, we got to draw. We draw the first logo. And so I panic drew this. The thing though is if I had more time to draw this, it would still look exactly like this. So
I can't even really decide what creature I think that resembles. The sleep demon from Tez's dreams feels
sleep demon.
Yeah, sleep
like the most accurate.
Oh my God. All right. So if you guys are just listening, we all chose the Broncos versus Raiders, but I still am nervy. It is a trap game. When I say trap game, for the uninitiated, Yeah, you walk and yeah, exactly what Mike Tomlin says. But we're hoping that the Broncos will stay on top. And I do think notoriously Sean Payton, I think he takes games against weak teams, I think more serious than good teams. So here's hoping. And we're also back at Mile High. So here's hoping for the 10th straight win at home. But we have our next game Sunday night. This is Steelers at Chargers. All right. And Drew, you ready? You just got it right.
I followed the instructions wrong, and I tried to draw this one.
I can't wait.
That's fine.
I can't wait to
That's
see
fine.
it. All right, you ready?
3,
2, 1. Oh, that's a mustache, Evan.
It's certainly not a lightning bolt. I don't know what happened.
Wow.
It went
You drew your mustache. You're literally drawing your mustache.
Oh, I'm easy to draw. Even I could draw me. No.
Wait, what does yours say?
You don't want to know how the hot dog's made, y'all.
Don't want to know how about the... Okay, so Drew's got the Steelers. I got the Steelers. Evan's got the Chargers. Let's talk about this very quickly. Go ahead, Ev.
Yeah, the Steelers just pulled out a little bit of an upset beating the Colts, which I think is good for them. It got them a bit of momentum. But I just think that they're going to, reset. I don't know. That's it. They're just going to reset and revert back to old ways, and the better team will be the Chargers.
Drewski?
It's in L.A., which means it's in Pittsburgh. And I think the Steelers have the much better defense. Justin Herbert. Thank you. Good God. Justin Herbert's been sacked almost as much as any other quarterback in the league. And I think the Pittsburgh D is going to get a bunch more turnovers. And I think Pittsburgh's on the up and up. So, Dazzle?
I only did it because I need the Chargers to lose.
Sure.
And I do think I do think the Steelers have a good chance, but it was very even. It's not like a Broncos Raiders game where it'd be crazy if I chose the Raiders. It will be a close game, but I agree with what Drew said, and I am going to use my magic powers for good and have the Steelers win. So, third game Monday night, we got Eagles at Packers. The 6-2 Eagles against the 5-2 Packers. Technically 5-2-1, but all right, are we ready?
Yeah. This is tough for me, but yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, and 1.
Ooh. I'm the only one of these three that picked the Eagles. I was really close to, I actually think I like the Eagle or the Packers a little bit more. It's at home. And Jordan Love is balling out, and Packers have always played incredibly well at Lambeau. I just don't. To me, I think the Packers still packer sometimes, and I think that this could be one of those games. And the Eagles' defense just got a lot better thanks to my ex-linebacker, Jalen Phillips. So I think that'll add to it. I think they'll be fired up. I'm going Eagles.
Daz, why do you think the Packers are going to win?
I think the Packers are going to win just because they just had an upset loss. Whenever teams come off upset losses, I'm always like, you have something more to prove. And the Eagles just played the Giants, and sure, they have something to prove. I think it's at home. It's Lambeau. You got home field advantage for two teams that are pretty close together. So I'm going to take the home team over that.
Yeah. I feel like the Eagles are more consistently a better team, but the Packers this year in particular feel like they have a higher ceiling. It's like they're either super spicy good or super bland bad. Hence why they lost to the Panthers, but also and they lost to the Browns. But then they beat these good teams. They're just kind of up and down, but I like them over the Eagles this week. It's just what my gut's saying.
I love it. All right, so we got some controversy here at Sportzball, so that's all good. Oh my God, what a fun time! We really have to let Evan go, but any last thoughts you want to say, Ev Zaddy and the Ravens and what you got?
Oh man, Ravens obviously are going to win the Super Bowl. Coming back from they're 3-5 now. It's all up from here.
Next week?
We have that's a really good question. We have the Vikings. Too purple.
Ooh.
It's the purple off, which is
the Purple Bowl.
This is the purple.
The one-eyed, one-horn, flying purple.
Yeah, I think our defense is gonna continue the turnaround. They've been U-turning for a few weeks, turning it around, and I think they're gonna get. Here's my hot take prediction. I bet they get 4 sacks on JJ McCarthy.
I'll go one more.
Rookie.
4 sacks, 2 picks. We're gonna. JJ McCarthy's coming, slamming back down to earth in this game.
Slamming back. I love that.
Wow.
Well,
all right.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me on and for.
Oh my God, Evan.
No, it
for
was
letting me
seriously.
use
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, literally anytime you guys want to listen to the Sportzball intro, we can you can pay Evan for those rights, and we'll send it to you, and you guys can just put it on your Spotify most liked songs.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
all right. Well, with all that being said, oh my God, how we end, but we now have a Ravens fan.
Go.
I'll just caw like a bird.
That's a good idea. I think that's the best.
What if we just all do our noises? Okay. How about that?
Do our noises?
Yeah.
Do our noises.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do our noises. 3 Okay. Bye, sports ballers. Nay.
That's how we do it from now on, for sure.